Welcome back to another TA stream here at Sin City Crypto, where not a single boring day when you have the man, Donald J. Trump, in office. I'm David. I'll be your host for today. I'm excited to be here with you guys. Sorry about yesterday. Wasn't able to join the show. You know, those of you that know, we have a beautiful studio. We're building 3 beautiful sets in the back. And, well, we're opening up shop for business. And so one more revenue stream for us and our businesses, renting the studio, because why have a expensive, beautiful studio if you're only filming 1 hour out of the day, 5 days a week? And so we're wrapping up on the client. So we're trying to navigate some of the extra content. So yesterday, apologies, couldn't make it. But today I am here. And what a day to be here. You know, it's only right that we start with President Trump. Let him cook. And like how do you not like this guy? You know, it's just funny. Let him cook. I saw someone, I think it was Mo, part of our community. He's like, Barron definitely has access to the White House X handle, which I wouldn't be surprised. But what an insane day. Let's check it on the stock market, see how that closed. We'll hop into some Bitcoin. We'll take a look at some alts, some of the biggest gainers. And then I think the big question, 3,000 points. My God. Is that the biggest day ever? Is this the biggest day ever? Let's find out. What was the biggest, let's see, biggest single day rally in Dow Jones history? Let's see. The largest single day point gain in Dow Jones occurred on October 13th. That's not right. Only 1,000 points. Oh, point gain. 1,300 points. Now, if this is correct, we just more than doubled our biggest day ever for the Dow Jones, up 3,000 points on the day. Seeing the VIX go down is also beautiful. But look at the NASDAQ, my friends, 12 points, 12% in the green. And Bitcoin followed suit. Speaking of BTC, we are seeing a second rally. Now, the level we talked about on the morning show today was 83,342. We did get rejected. You can see it. Maybe you can see it on the not the 30 minute, maybe the 15 minute. Anyways, we were getting rejected. Now it looks like we're printing for BTC on the 1 hour here. Beautiful W pattern. All right, come back down, create a low, come up, higher low. And then one more retest of this order block here. And then it was off to the races. And Bitcoin has just been absolutely rallying. Now, one thing to keep a note of, my friends, is this gap we created on the way up. That move was so violent. Look at that spike in volume on the 1 hour. And so gaps tend to fill. Now, not all of them fill, but they do tend to fill, whether it's on a wick or if they fill halfway. Either way, keep your eye out. The bottom end of this gap is 78.3. The top end is going to be 81.6. But things are looking pretty good. I am still a little cautiously optimistic. I think the China deal is going to be a big one. Speaking of that, I know we don't really share news, but just because it has such a big impact on price action in the markets, we're starting to see news and rumors come out of the White House like this. President Trump says China wants to make a deal, and they're in the process of figuring it out. And then this video, I thought this video was pretty funny. I want to watch it with you guys. That's like I don't even know a good analogy to use, but we'll watch the video. This was President Trump today at the White House about 40 minutes ago. And well, listen to what he had to say about today's rally in the stock market.
This was something certainly we've been talking about for a period of time, and we decided to pull the trigger. And we did it today, and we're happy about it. I didn't know it would have that kind of an impact, but it's, I think we have the biggest increase in the history of the stock market. That's pretty. Okay,
I'm sorry, but I didn't know it was going to have that big of an impact when he literally tweeted this morning, now's a good time to buy. Less than 3 hours later, it might have even been shorter, like 2 or an hour later, he announces the 90-day pause and the markets rally. So I don't buy that, but listen to what he says about the rally in the stock market.
The stock market, that's pretty good. That's pretty, you're almost, if you keep going, you're going to be back to where it was 4 weeks ago. But it was a sick market 4 weeks ago, because this trade was sick. It was only a question of time. I don't blame the tariffs. I think the tariffs just sort of magnified what was happening. It was sick. Biden allowed these people to get away with murder. Biden allowed.
So, guys over here talking about we had the biggest rally in the stock market. Bro, you're the reason it went down. It's like stabbing yourself in the chest and then stitching yourself up. Like, look at how beautiful these stitches are. I stitched myself up. Again, such a bad analogy, but whatever. Let's take a look at market cipher B on the 1 hour for BTC. We saw that money flow turn green very quickly with a green dot. We are starting to see the VWAP come down a little bit, although we're seeing it curve inwardly, meaning maybe that downside pressure is losing a little bit of steam, at least when the in terms of the VWAP, RSI, and the stochastic oscillator all up. Now, I do want to give a little credit to Caleb Franzen. He was on the show today, by the way. Great guest. Love having that dude on the show. Such great insight. He made a point about bullish divergence on. Where did my? I thought I had an RSI on here. I guess I didn't. Let's have one on here. Bullish divergence on the Bitcoin 2-day, and let's take a peek here. Let's get rid of you. Let's get you nice and thick here. Let's feed you some cornbread, and then let's move you up. Market cipher B. I promise I will come back to you. And yeah, barely, but it's there, right? Barely, but it's there, right? You have your bullish divergence on the 2-day for BTC coming in, making lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the RSI. So that is very good. The higher time frames for BTC, depending on if this bounce holds, and we can actually move this back down and expand this up. Our VWAP is actually coming into an inverse head and shoulders, which is really nice. So we should see a reversal here, although these things oscillate up and down, but should see a nice reversal to the upside in our VWAP, and we should see this thing start to curve inwardly, the money flow. And again, this is on the super high time frame on the weekly. And if we continue to get another leg up, that'll be really nice for BTC. Hopefully we get a green dot here on market cipher B. But short-term price action looks really good. We'll see if 83.1 can hold. And the other thing I actually had my eye on as well, I believe it was on the 1 hour. Let's get rid of some of these. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of you. And you're going bye-bye also. So that 83.1 region, I wanted to pull a fixed volume range from when we came down here. And pretty much, let's do this. Let's go from here to here. And you can see we are right there at our point of control. And now this is a big range, right? This range is from the 9th of March through the 6th of April. So about a month range on a 1 hour. Our POC here from this range where a majority of that volume came in, again, is at 83.161. We are officially trading above. And again, that 83.34 level is a level that we are trading at currently. Now, the one thing I want to note is what kind of candle are we going to print? Are we going to print a spinning top candle? Are we going to print a hammer candle, a shooting star candle? A reversal candle is what I'm trying to get at here. And if we are, expect some downside. We want to see 80K hold for BTC. That was our last swing high we had. And I'll drop a horizontal there as well. Right there, 80,600. That was our last swing high before we came back and made that higher low here on Tuesday. So yesterday. Again, this is on the 1 hour. And so as far as a trade setup and trading, I'm not doing anything here now. I think this 83.3 level again is very important. We want to see what price does. If we get a break below, we got some support at 80.6K. We see what price action does. We see what market cipher B tells us and some of our other indicators we use, and this might be a really good long opportunity. And so not anything that I'm willing to put a limit order in because as you guys know, one tweet, one post, he can wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, or not looking to negotiate, and whatever he decides to say, it could tank the markets again. You see another wild swing to the downside and you're in a long because you put a limit order in. It's happened to me before, trust me. You put a limit order in, you forget about it, you're like, oh shit. I actually lost some money underneath that way. Speaking of losing money, this trade was down massive. This trade right here, this was our Tron long, TRX long. We were down like 45, 50%. I'm like, you know what? Normally I close the position and take the L, but Tron always holds up fairly well. And so now we are currently in the green. I'm still aiming at, I believe I still have my TP profit set, my TP level, which let me go back here at 25,684. I believe that's either 50% or 100% of my position will be closed. And so we're going to let this thing print. But again, things are looking good for BTC. I'm curious how you guys are feeling right now. Are you guys feeling optimistic? Are you feeling bearish? A lot of analysts are saying, and even Caleb said this on the morning show, is sell the rip, right? Buy the dip. No, sell the rip. Markets are going to rip. I don't know. I don't know if the markets are going to continue. I don't know if this is just a relief rally and all the people that were caught with their pants around their ankles and said, damn it, I should have gotten out. Is this a rally for them to recoup some of those unrealized losses and exit the market because they believe there's still a lot of uncertainty in the markets? I don't know. Either way, we'll keep our eye on the markets and the charts. Really nice bounce from ETH today as well, which honestly, I'll be honest with you, man. If ETH didn't get a really big bounce like it literally just did, I was getting close to capitulating on Ethereum. But good news, we did get a nice bounce off of Ethereum. We can actually throw on our price action concept. See, of course, we created a gap on the way up, and ETH's gap sits below 1510 from 1508 to around $1,600. So it's about a $100 gap that we should expect to fill to the downside, although we do have a little bit of support coming in at 1539 for Ethereum. Let's look at some high volume points. Let's get rid of this. Now, the big thing for me is going to be, oh, we blew right through that sell wall. That's really good. That's really good. And so this high volume point sits at 1637. We got an initial rejection, as you can see, right? Initial rejection. We printed actually a reversal candle, and then we continued higher. But volume is decreasing. That's one thing to keep an eye on. We are seeing decreasing volume on the 1 hour for Ethereum. So we might come back and retest this level of support, 1637. And again, depending on the overall kind of market sentiment, where the markets are, might be a good opportunity to long Ethereum, although ETH longs have burned me the last 2 times. But I try to forget about it. You know, you get out of a really bad relationship, make you lose all your trust, but you can't carry that into the next relationship. You know, you just got to start fresh. So ETH, hear me out. I'm willing to start fresh with you. If you prove to me that you can hold 1637, I'll be more than happy to enter long. That is a key level we're looking out for according to volume, okay? Now, on the lower time frames, we can work our way to the 10-minute for ETH, see if we're seeing any price action. So you had a little bit of a bull flag here, break to the upside. Potential ugly sideways cup and handle pattern, maybe. Not really, maybe just a rising wedge. But we take a look at market side for B. Looks pretty good, although we are printing a head and shoulders here on the momentum wave. So that might break to the downside. And we're getting an nice inward curve on the VWAP, which is about to cross to the downside and expanding money flow. So things are looking good on the lower time frame. Let's check on the higher time frames. Check on the 4 hour. See what market side for B is telling us. So bearish momentum is waning. Obviously, that's good. Looks like we're getting a nice smoothening out of this money flow. We want that thing to cross over our midline and turn green, and an expanding VWAP, which is always good to the upside if you're in a long position for Ethereum. This is a strong move. Big volume, strong move for ETH, kind of a similar W pattern here, although our second leg down was a lower high for ETH. But I believe, actually, did we have bullish? We did. We had a really nice bullish divergence on ETH here on the 4 hour. As you can see, lower high, higher low on the RSI, and we have that move to the upside for Ethereum. Yeah, that's ETH. I'll get into the rest of the markets. I do want to peek back in and check in some of the answers to my question you guys put in here. China wrecked. It'll be interesting. Wreck the bears, said wreck bears. Oh, shocker. Market manipulation. I don't know if it's market manipulation. Well, from the president, it might be market manipulation, which we saw what they're trying to do to Javier Milei in Argentina. Are they going to do the same with Trump here in the States, saying that he knew was coming, obviously, because he's the one that made the decision, and for him to go out and tweet, now's a good time to buy? It's kind of hard to argue against that not being market manipulation, so be ready for the other side to come out and try to roast this man on a spit. Don't uninstall your MetaMask just yet. Yeah, don't do it just yet. Eugene said, I'm just still buying. That's a good point, Eugene. If you have a strategy in place, and that strategy is to DCA, whether if it's a set amount every week, every month, every day, or if it's a buy the dip on a set percentage. So every time Bitcoin goes down 5%, I'm buying X amount. Great. You stick to it, stick to your strategy. That always works well versus trying to time the bottom or the tops of the market. Art of Reed said, is it better for newbies to have just a handful of coins or put a little on many different coins? I think that's a very good question, my friend. I guess my answer to that question would be, how much experience do you have in the space? And what's your portfolio look like? And what are you looking to achieve? And what's your financial situation? And so if you are just looking for long-term gains, you don't have that much time to research the markets, and you're like, look, I want to participate in crypto. I think this is the future. I think just Bitcoin and maybe a couple L1s, you'll be fine. Not financial advice, but maybe Bitcoin, AVAX, Cardano, or Bitcoin, Casper, or whatever. Projects that have solid teams that we know are not going anywhere. And so that would be my thing to you. Now, if you're more of a degenerate and you want to maximize your ROI to the upside, then yeah, you can go down a little further down the risk curve, but that takes a lot more active management, in my opinion, where you're constantly having to make sure that the roadmap is getting fulfilled, the fundamentals are there, the team is continuing to build, they're onboarding users, keeping track of those kind of metrics. If you're willing to do that, then obviously there's there's a lot more upside for you if you go that route versus just sticking your money in Bitcoin. But the easiest, set it and forget it. I don't have the time, David. I just want some exposure to the markets. Buy Bitcoin and chill, bro. Buy Bitcoin, get yourself a Tangent wallet, throw it in there, put the 3 cards in 3 different places, and you'll be good to go. All right, I will be randomly peeking into the chat here. Let's take a look at the 1 hour here on the crypto bubbles. We're seeing a big drawdown from Flare. Now, the interesting thing with the Flare chart I was watching, let's pull up a Flare chart. How many of you own Flare? Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you own any Flare tokens. I do not. I had some, I sold it. I think I was looking at Flare on the day, and oh, this one looks like a nice break from this falling channel here. Falling wedge, falling channel. We can call this a deviation and a nice break to the upside. Now, if you're looking for a trade, I would not enter yet, okay? You're already seeing it lost about 50% of this move already. It moved up to around almost 2 cents, and now it's back down to 1.5 cents. So it already lost 50% of the move. And so is it just going to come right back down like this right here? And these are daily candles, by the way. So these are large candles. Is this going to turn into one of these candles where it's a fake out above and we close right at the right inside of this pattern, this falling wedge, falling channel pattern? So you want to wait for a retest. So for me, if I'm going to enter into a flare long, but the good news is spike in volume. Let's take a look at market cipher B. I mean, the VWAP cross, which is good, right? VWAP cross expanding, RSI stochastics up, good. Money flow is still pretty deep in the red. And you see the momentum waves are expanding further to the downside. We did get a green dot though. And that's a pretty big deviation there on market cipher B. So for me, a trade setup on Flare, and I'll get to what I was trying to show you guys, is a retest here, right? A retest right here, which is around 1.33 cents. We want to see what price does here. If we get another move up, another candle close with volume, then we enter into a long. And then we look to find some resistance levels. First thing I'll do is, before I start manually drawing, is we throw on this. So you have a bunch of 2-hour levels. So the first one that I would say is of any significance is 1.776 cents, which I'll drop a horizontal, that because there's a lot of stuff going on here. I'll drop one here and we'll get rid of this. This 1.778 level, if we just zoom out and see what Flare did at this level, right? Big consolidation at these levels. This was a consolidation that lasted 37 days, so a month. Consolidated below this level. We attempted to reclaim that level on multiple wicks, failed. ultimately came back, broke above, and then retested on a wick, and we got positive price action to the upside. Now to the downside, as far as support, we did get a wick down here on the 3rd of February that ultimately failed. Again, it broke below, failed to reclaim, actually reclaimed it, gave it back the very next day, chop, 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 and then we lost it and started falling. And so that would be the first key level I look at. So if you're going to enter into a trade, let's say around 13.82 cents, look to maybe cash out all your positions at around 1.77 cents. Or even if it's a partial close, like a, I don't know, 50% or 75% of your position. But that would be the key area I'd be looking for exiting and looking at your take profit levels. Now, what I was going to show you guys is this. This is Market Cipher A, which like market Cipher in general is awesome. But I don't see a lot of people using Market Cipher A. It's usually Market Cipher B. Market Cipher A is great to see. Is there any shenanigans going on? And these yellow X's signify whale manipulation. And you look at every candle, it kind of looks the same. Big wicks, small bodies, and then big bodies push to the downside, lots of wicks. And so Market Cipher A is telling us there's a lot of manipulation from potentially whales on the daily here for Flare Network. But this might be a good trade setup if you have the patience to wait for a bounce and then coming on along to the upside for Flare Network. Some of the biggest gainers over on is, you see now it's down 12.5% on the crypto bubbles. Staying on the 1 hour, Sonic up 4.4%. This is a chart that we've been looking at. I don't want to say every show, but pretty close to every show. And here is Sonic. Nice volume spike. This is on the daily. Not enough data to stay on the daily, so we go to the hourlies. And what are we seeing for Sonic on the hourly? Ooh, this was a nice trade. Was this a trade setup we were waiting for? A confirmation? This happened? No, this happened just today. So if you have Market Cipher B, and I've shared this on my show multiple times, a super easy like entry strategy is the anchor trigger wave kind of strategy. Okay. All it is you get a big momentum wave, green dot, and then you get a very much smaller, I would say maybe like at least a fifth to a sixth of what the original one was. You get that small momentum wave with a green dot. That becomes your trigger wave. And why is it trigger? That's a trigger for you to enter into a long. And if you did, depending on where you got in, and this was beautiful, by the way. Look at this. Our trigger wave came in at the close at around 40 cents. If you'd have entered there and you were ridden to the top, that's a 22% trade. That is a 22% trade. And I don't know how much leverage you degens are doing nowadays. If you're like me, you're like in the 8 to 15x leverage. Sometimes you're feeling a little extra risky, a little more confident. You go maybe 20, 25x, or if you're crypto face and you got millions of dollars, you just do a 25x, $11 million ETH trade, and you lose money and you're just like, fuck it, I'll make it back the next day. But either way, that's just one thing, like one thing you can use. And again, I'm all about empowering people, and I don't like to hide secrets of how I make money. If we can all make money, great, man. I love it. Make some money for yourself, for your family. But one thing to say though, it's not something you come in and you say, oh shit, we got the anchor wave, trigger wave, I'm going to enter right away. You want to look at other conditions. You want to look, is this thing at a key resistance level? Which we weren't. Right, the key resistance level, I'd say, would be around 44 cents, where we saw price kind of chop. We essentially had a triple top here on Sonic at around 43.79 cents. We got our trigger wave well below at around 39 cents. And so we blew right through that, and I can almost guarantee you with a certainty, yeah, got a nice little gap. And so you're noticing a trend here. You're going to see every single altcoin that had a move like this, which is literally all of them, they all created gaps to the upside or to the downside. And so expect to get that gap again. And you can see for Sonic, we came back and retested the top end of our fair value gap. And so that's just one thing to keep an eye on. We do have one really nice order block here sitting at top range around 43.81 cents, which had about 2-to-1 buy versus sellers. So bid versus ask. And so, but Sonic is a project that this thing was down in the low, sub 40 cents. And, we talked about how impressive Sonic is with their speed and DeFi and what they do. Andre Cornier. And so from a fundamental standpoint, Sonic is a great project. From a technical standpoint, this is not something I'm looking at long or short right now. This thing is running. Let it run. We did have a change of character as well. That is a positive. We zoom into, I want to zoom out to the higher time frame, but I'm going to go to Phantom. There's a lot more data on Phantom. Let's get rid of you. Let's see what Market Cipher B told us here. This was a beautiful anchor trigger wave as well on the daily. Right? Take a look. Anchor wave. You see that little nub right there? That's your trigger wave with the green dot. And where does that land? Right here. You enter on the next open, and you are up 18% times your leverage. And so that's pretty good. Another green dot here on the momentum wave. We are seeing a little bit of this. We're losing steam here on the momentum wave to the downside, which is good. Looks like money flow is getting ready to expand again to the upside. And we just, I believe, I got to zoom in here, super zoomed in. And we did. We got a bullish crossover on the VWAP. You can see right there, officially crossed over the zero line, which is very bullish. And this is, again, on a very high time frame for Phantom, a.k.a. Sonic. We take a look at the Market Cipher A. Nothing really to see here. Maybe on the, let's see the weekly. Get any signals on the weekly? No signals on the weekly. Let's go down to the 6 hour. Any signals on the 6 hour? Blood diamond that really turned into, not really. I was going to say an inverse head and shoulders, but this right shoulder dipped too far down. So Sonic, fundamentally great. Trade setup wise, I don't really see anything. Yeah, for Sonic, we are coming up towards a key resistance level at 50 cents. But not only is it a key resistance level, it's also a very psychological number, level, which is obviously a big round number, 50 cents. You can see how price has reacted here. Consolidate, chop, chop, chop. Rejected, further downside. And then even going back to mid-February, this is really where Sonic had its final stop before absolutely exploding 90% to the upside in a span of in a span of 4 days. And that was a big rally. And so Sonic moves fast, pun intended. And then something to see of beauty is shorts got crushed. Try not to cuss. But fuck it. Shorts got fucking crushed. I think it was like 400 million. Let's actually check right now on the 4 hour. So this was, I think, 300 million on the 12 hour though. 400 million liquidated from the markets. We go to the 12 hour. 78% of those are shorts over the last 4 hour. 80% of those were shorts. We take a look at our liquidation heat map. Some of the levels that we're seeing for BTC on the 24 hour. $132 million of shorts got liquidated at 83.40 and another 138 at 83.485. And as those traders close or get liquidated out of their positions, you are seeing a little bit of downside pressure here for BTC. It's actually dropping officially below $83,000 as we are live on the stream. And if you haven't hit the like, please do so. Hit the like button. Let's take a look at the very low time frame, the 1 minute on BTC. Are we seeing anything change? What's the reason? Why are we dumping? Please, that only lasted so little. We didn't get that much time to celebrate and look at our portfolios. Okay. Getting a bounce on the RSI, which is good. VWAP to the upside is still expanding. Got another green dot on our momentum wave there. Let's zoom out to the 5 minute here on BTC. Looks like this might be a very ugly, but nonetheless. No. You come here. And those of you that are watching my channel, you know I'm kind of drawing, and this is a very steep, and it doesn't look as steep when you zoom out like this, but potential bull flag pattern here, or at least a falling channel that should break to the upside. And again, this is on the super low time frame of the 5 minute. Let's take a look at what the 5 minutes telling us here. We had some momentum to the upside, and this, nope, no trigger wave there. Nothing really on the 5 minutes. Look at the 10 minute. Bearish crossover on the VWAP. So been a really nice setup here for a trigger wave. Didn't get it. And then it looks like we're coming into a head and shoulders pattern here on the momentum waves. And so they should break to the downside, which is not good on the short time frame for BTC. But is there any news? I know it's not like a big drop, but is there any news? I mean, this thing is so fast moving. You just never know. Did Trump like eat a 10-piece nugget with 2 Coca-Colas and decided that he needs to start tweeting again? I don't. Be cool. These guys are such trolls, bro. All right, nothing. Yeah, I definitely don't want that. Nothing I'm really seeing there for the rest. Let's take a look at the altcoins on the daily. Ondo had a massive rally today, 22%. But Fartcoin stole the show again, up 35% on the day. What a big move. But you're seeing quality projects rally, right? You see SWE up 15%, Link up 15.6%, Ondo up 22%, AVAX up 15%. Let's take a look at AVAX. All right, AVAX. A little bullish pennant on AVAX on the 10-minute. Let's look at the 1 minute. Oh, let's stay on the 10-minute. You look good, 10-minute. Let's stay on you, 10-minute. And so another variation of a bullish pattern. Bull flag, bull pennant. This to me looks like a bull pennant. And we're getting close to the end of that range. Now, again, this is on the 10-minute, so just be wary. The move's not going to be as big. And then we take a look at market cipher B here. Stop doing that. Naughty. Okay, market cipher B on the 10-minute. Red dot here, not good. Money flow is expanding to the upside, which is good. And it looks like, don't curve on me. Don't do it. We want to get a break to the upside of our VWAP here, which is going to be your yellow line. But AVAX, can we get a breakout here? If we do get a breakout, what are some key levels to look for? The one I have on the higher time frame is $19.76. We really have nothing above it. Maybe 19 bucks even. I'll drop a horizontal there as well. We can maybe say $19 even. And again, please keep in mind, this is very, very low time frame. 19 cents even, or $19 even, might be a decent take profit if you are going to enter into a long on AVAX. Although it's going to be very small, right? You're looking at price at $18.59. Unless you got a super high leverage play, it might not even be worth it. You look at 1976. Now we're talking. Let's go to the 1 hour here on AVAX. 1 hour. What is the 1 hour telling us? Are we seeing some bullish div on the 1 hour here for AVAX? Let's take a peek. Well, we are. Actually, we are not. I stand corrected. We are not. So no bullish div. I want to see if we had any bullish divergence here on AVAX on the 1 hour, but we don't. But it's okay because we're making higher lows on AVAX. Let's take a look at our price action concepts. Again, gap to be filled potentially to the downside. We did get a break of structure on the chart here. So this high here of around 1750 looks like a pretty key level. And we're entering into our premium zone, which historically has been an area to sell. Now, these are dynamic, so they do move. And so looking at it now, we have this up. Our previous week high was 20 bucks even, okay? $19.95. And between kind of this blue line, which is the level I had on, I believe this is on the daily, I was looking at this level, 1976. Between that and our previous week high would be a good place to set your TP at. So between 1976 and around $20, if you are going to enter into an AVAX long trade, make sure to have your TP. And it looks like I think AVAX is getting ready to make a move here. I really do. This is on the 1 hour. The 1 hour, same kind of setup, but we're at the very end. This became a very tight range, very, very fast. Let's zoom into the 5 minute here on AVAX. Previous day high sitting at 1775, which is right smack dab in the middle of our fair value gap we created. Again, as we push the price to the upside. We might get a little more downside here on the 5 minute. And if you're really looking to scalp like the perfect level, maybe around $18.50 might be a great area. But again, for me, trading pattern breaks, I always like to wait for a break and a retest. I've gotten burned so many times on fake outs. If you're a little patient, you might lose a little bit of the move, but you'll save yourself a lot of money in the long run. And so really nice tightening range here on AVAX. Let's look at the market cipher B here. We did get a green dot here just printed right now. And it looks like we are about to start seeing money flow expand to the upside again with RSI and stochastics looking up. And so some key levels to look out for. You know, it's funny. My thumbnail guy this morning, I told him the theme for the thumbnail, which is what you see, the with a bull. And in case you forgot what it looks like, right here. With a bull laying on its side. And I was expecting downside today. And then as I'm going live, I'm like, fuck, it's too late. I think he was asleep by the time, so I couldn't get it changed. So, meaning, are we going to get a reversal to the downside or are we going to break to the upside? I'm just going to check in on the chat here a little bit, say what's up to my people. Thank you to all the mods for keeping everyone in check and also for keeping the chat going. Hot take, Bitcoin, the only TA that matters. Look at Bitcoin TA for buying your alts. That's a good point, man. Also look at Bitcoin dominance. Good vibes coming, RS Miller. What's up, brother? Sonic, sorry they screwed me over. Why? Why did Sonic screw you over? Just curious. Leaving no go leverage trade, Sonic, before we get out of that chat, 747. Oh, man. What's going on, bro? Yoshi. Okay. Oh, what's up, Biomax? How you doing, brother? All right. Let us, what did I want to go over? I went over that. Is there anything you guys want me to look at? Any questions you have? Anything else? Just let me know. Oh, it looks like AVAX 5 minute. Breakout. Maybe. Yes. We wait and see on the 5 minute. Green dot 5 minute. Yes. Let's look at the 1 minute. We like the 1 minute. Okay. 1 minute. This could come into an inverse head and shoulders. Maybe. Let's look. You know what? Actually, my drawings are so bad. My freehand drawings. So we're just going to use this cool tool here. Left shoulder, head, maybe, just maybe. If we get a rejection, we come in and we create this right shoulder as long as we don't dip below $18.50. And this could potentially be, as you can see, pardon me. I don't know. I'm going to stop that. That was so bad. You know, if Rob was here, he'd be like, bro, what are you doing? I'd be like, I don't know. You're right. And you guys, you see, this is exactly why, okay? We can even zoom into go to the 5 minute. And I'm going to hide you for now, okay? But don't go anywhere. Stay. At least on the 1 minute, you're starting to see this thing, and it looks like it reversed. But it was coming back down to the, it was breaking back down to the, so let's see. Let's focus on, we caught this on the 10 minute. So let's stay on the 10 minute, okay? And we might actually be putting a live trade right now. We want to watch this retest here. So we're creeping up. The target price we are looking for here for a potential long entry as we officially broke above is $18.63. Let's see what price does there. Again, this is on the 10 minute. So this candle just opened. Let's zoom out to the 5 minute because we're very impatient. And we want to get in a trade now. I want to make money now. I'm like, I want to make some money right now. And my kid keeps asking me, Dad, am I going to get more V-Bucks? I'm like, look, man, I'm broke, bro. I bought the dip. Got no money left. All right, so I'm just kind of keeping my eye on this. This might be a really, really good long entry here. Let's take a look. Break out of the bullish pennant here for BTC, or for AVAX. On the market side for A, actually, speaking of market side, let's pull up market side for A. We like when the moving averages expand. We like that a lot. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Nothing yet. Any big volume points? So this might be a good indication of a potential first area to keep an eye on is around $18.92 for AVAX, as there was a large amount of selling around we'll call it 1.9 million AVAX was sold at that level. Let's throw on our MA ribbon here on the, actually, what am I doing? Not the MA ribbon. This one. 1891, that's on the 5 minute. Let's look at our cloud. Cloud, very bullish, very bullish. Conversion line trading above our baseline. Yes, that is good. And obviously price trading above our cloud, which is green, also very good. But again, what are we eyeing? Positive retest of 1863. Looks like we got there on a wick. perfect wick, right? Excuse me. Come on. We want to see a close. What does the 3-minute tell us? So we got 2 closes above on the 3-minute, 5-minute, not a close above yet. Still playing with our emotions here. And the 10-minute, which is where we saw this pattern in the first place. But we can peek into the 3-minute window and we can look. Expanding momentum waves. This is good. Okay. We want to see this VWAP curve inwardly, which you're watching in a real time, right? It's like that hunchback. You hunch back and you slowly start, raising yourself up. That's what the VWAP is doing. So, oh no, guys, I think this might be. $18.68. All right, 10-minute. Where are you? All right. So on the 1-minute, we got a bullish bounce. That's good. 5-minute on the wick, we got a bounce. Although this candle's not closed yet. So in a minute, I'm going to tee this up. And not saying this is what you should do, but this is what I'm doing. AVAX. I don't want to do you. Let's go 12x. And all right, 50 seconds. So 1868. We're keeping our eye now. Now, if we do enter this trade, we're looking at $19 for potential. We'll call it an evaluation, right? We'll evaluate at $18.98. We'll call it $19. See what price does. In fact, actually, I'm going to up this leverage. We're going to go 15. We'll go 15x leverage. Five minutes about to close. Expanding VWAP. This is all looking good. Don't freeze on me now, bro. We're trying to make some money here, my dude. 1 minute. Beautiful retest twice. Once on a wick, once on a close. All right. 5-minute closed. Almost. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're getting in this trade. Let's go. We're gonna go market. 15 hundo. Long. AVAX. 15x. Yes. Bam. We are in this trade. We'll see how it pans out for AVAX. But again, the key level we're looking at here, my friends, is going to be $18.98. Now, I'm not saying I'm cashing out the entirety of the move there, but keep an eye. What is price going to tell us? But this seems to be a potential. Now, we did wait for that retest. We got it on a wick. On the lower time frame, we got one on a wick, one on a close. So looking good. And everything on Market Cipher B is telling us that we should see an expansion of this move, at least to $19.76. That is what I would say. Now, of course, one thing to keep in mind, guys, nothing is a sure bet. Anything can happen. As you know, you saw today, anything can happen. On the hour, currently breaking out. 4 minutes left for this hourly candle to close. And so, yeah, there we go. We're in a trade, baby. Let's go. All right, guys, that'll do it for the show today. You know, my little man's not feeling good. He's been by himself on the couch. He was waiting for me to get home to play Fortnite. I said, look, son, I got the boys and girls are waiting for me. Got to do my show, but I promise you, afterwards, I will take a look. We'll play some Fortnite. Either way, guys, I hope you got some good value out of today's show. One thing I will continue to say, don't let your emotions get too high when you're euphoric. Don't let your emotions get too low when you're bearish, right? Stay in the middle. I promise you, take it from someone who's been doing this for a very long time. If you stay in the middle, you will make better financial decisions. And even if you lose money, you'll lose a lot less money than a majority of people that make decisions when they are very emotional. So keep that in mind. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow for the